If you're thinking of modifying your Ford Ranger Raptor, you're going to want to check this video out first. Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back. My name is Will and this is the With Me YouTube channel. Gotta hit you with a quick sales pitch. If you get to the end of this video, you enjoyed it, you like this type of content, think about hitting that subscribe button right down below. Totally free to subscribe, just gonna send you a quick notification whenever I'm posting some new content out there. But if you don't want to subscribe, that's cool. A like is always really appreciated as well. Now with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. So obviously, like the title says, we're gonna be talking about my 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. And if you're not too familiar with my build and with my channel, a few months ago, I decided to do a leveling kit, some bigger wheels, some bigger tires. We're rocking some 35s on the Ranger Raptor right now. Had to do quite a bit of trimming and other things to make all of this, clear and, function properly. But in today's video, I figured I'd go ahead and give you guys more or less like a check-in. We've been driving now for about 5,000 miles with, the bigger wheels, tires, leveling kit and all that. I didn't want to come out and make a review video too premature without actually getting some miles and some seat time on this so I can give you a full honest opinion of all of this. So I'm going to turn you guys around, show you my truck, go through all the modifications, and then probably jump inside the truck, go for a ride, and just kind of shoot it with you guys for a little bit and give you my 2 cents on the whole experience of, lifting and modifying your Ranger Raptor. All right, everyone. So here is my truck, 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. And as you can see, we're definitely on some larger tires over here, and we are on a leveling kit. So start with the wheels and tires. So over here, we are on a set of Volk Racing TE37XT M-Spec. They are in 17 by 8.5 with a plus 15 offset. So size is pretty similar to the stock size, but with a much more aggressive offset. And the tires we have on here are a set of 35s. We are running the Gladiator XComp XTs in a 35 by 12.50 R17. These are a rough terrain tire, so not an all-terrain, but not a mud terrain. It's kind of like an in-between. And there you go. You can see quite a bit of poke there with these specs on the Ranger Raptor. But yeah, thought I'd give you guys a quick walk around visual of it. Looks really sweet right now. The golden hour here at sunset in South Florida. And like I said, it is on a leveling kit, and the leveling kit we are running is the Fouts Motorsports perch collar lift right there. So that orange guy right there sat up underneath the spring is the Fouts Motorsports preload collar. It's a 2.5-inch perch collar, preload collar, collar lift. It's all kind of interchangeable terms there, but this one is the 2.5-inch one that gives you the full level look as you saw before. They do offer them in a few other different sizes as well, depending on how much lift you want to have on your truck. But basically, it sits up underneath that spring there, adds preload to the stock spring, and then lifts your truck by adding the preload to it. So a few different ways to lift your Ranger Raptor. You can go with the perch collars, you can go with a top hat spacer that goes up on top of the suspension there. There's pros and cons to all of these types of lifts. It's just depending on the way you want to do it. So yeah, those perch collars definitely help give the whole Ranger Raptor its level look there. So I will say I was a bit nervous about leveling and throwing on the larger tires with the Ranger Raptor because I really enjoyed the whole feel and the driving dynamics of the Ranger Raptor in stock form. I felt with the 33-inch KO3s and not going with like a super heavy tire that the Ranger Raptor felt very agile, nimble. It was very fun to drive. It honestly reminded me of driving like a sports car, where typically I'm super gung-ho about throwing on the larger, 35s, 37s on a lot of my builds and, lifting them up. I really liked the feel of the live valves in stock form. And like I said, with having the lighter weight 33s, this thing just felt super sporty and agile. So I was a little bit nervous, but I will say, in my opinion, even with going with the heavier 35-inch tires, I don't really feel like I lost too much of the stock driving dynamics. I do think you do feel it a little bit more going with like the heavier 35. I don't think it necessarily hindered the performance all too much. Braking probably was a little bit hindered. Acceleration, honestly, I don't really feel it all too much. And, you know, that's just my personal opinion. People are going to obviously feel different things, right? But in my opinion, I don't think the performance was hindered all too much with going with the heavier 35-inch tires. Fuel economy did take a little bit of a hit. I'm averaging around 15 miles per gallon now that I have the larger 35s on there. And with the whole perch collars up front, I rode around for, I want to say, about 3 weeks before I did the recalibration with Forescan, because I just wanted to give you both opinions, right? With the preload collars, it definitely adds preload. Obviously, that's the whole point of them, to get the lift. So it does feel a bit firmer up front, obviously. That's to be expected. I don't think it was, you know, absolutely deal breaker horrible where a lot of other people have mentioned that. I think they're just being a little bit dramatic. That's just my opinion. But, you know, coming from like driving Broncos and Jeeps, Wranglers, Gladiators, all of that, a harsh ride I'm pretty familiar with. So it still felt relatively good to me anyway. But then after doing the ride height calibration with Forescan, yeah, it was definitely noticeably different. And it honestly went back and retained its factory ride quality. I don't really feel too much of harsh driving or firmness or stiffness now that I've obviously redone the calibration and all that. So I have a video right up here of doing the whole recalibration with Forescan Lite on my iPhone. So if you want to go check that out, because I will say you definitely want to recalibrate after doing the perch collars, and honestly even with like the spacer lift, you'll probably want to recalibrate that as well. But all in all, I've been really pleasantly surprised and happy with the whole outcome of everything. And like I said before, out of the box, the Ranger Raptor performs awesome. It's an awesome driving truck. I've been pleasantly surprised with it, even coming from like a TRX, which, you know, best truck. I know I keep harping over and over and over in all my other videos that the TRX is like the best, but this truck had a lot to live up to, and honestly, it's met all my expectations. And to be truthfully honest with you, it's exceeded them. Because look right here, even. So yeah, you can see this thing definitely, it can still boogie. Even with those bigger 35s on there, this thing definitely gets rowdy. So yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, and honestly just me sharing my opinion, I wouldn't be too worried if you're a Ranger Raptor owner about, you know, losing your performance and all of that by going with a larger tire. I was very skeptical about it, but I'm here to say I'm, you know, very happy with it. All right, so now I'm going to answer a few questions that I get frequently asked. Question number one is, how much did this cost? So this is going to be very widespread on how much you can actually get all of this done for. So on my end, I went real baller, real extreme with these wheels. Very expensive wheels. If you know how much Volk TE37s are, you already know that, but I'm just gonna lay out how much I spent. So for my wheels, they were $4,000. So included with that is actually all 4 wheels, 4 center caps, and the lug nuts. Said and done was right around that $4,000 mark. Honestly, a little bit more, but I'm just gonna round it down to $4,000. My tires were on the cheaper end. They were $1,000. Lift, pretty cheap for the perch collars, because we only did something in the front. That was $250. For the install, I paid $1,000. That included mounting and balancing of the wheels and tires. That included the installation of the perch collars up front. That included removing the crash bars and trimming and all of that. So yes, we will get into that in the next question. And it also included the alignment. So all of that was $1,000. And then I paid $150 for the OBD2 reader so I can download Forescan and do the ride height calibration. So said and done, it was $6,400 that I spent to get all of that done on my Ranger Raptor. Question number 2, did you need to do any trimming to get these wheels and tires to fit? Yes, even with doing the front perch collar lift, I still needed to do some trimming. I also needed to remove these right here. These are the crash bars, rear crash bars, front crash bars. You can remove them by, you know, shimming the bumper forward and just sliding these out by unbolting them, or you can cut them out. That's a whole hell of a lot quicker than doing all of that. But yes, you do need to do that, and I'll show you where you need to trim right now too. So right down here, you can see that's where the crash bar was. We needed to trim all across the front right here, and then we needed to trim right down here as well. That way, when these tires are turning at full lock, you're not getting any sort of scrubbing right there. Question number 3 is the height. So to the top of the roof, my Ranger Raptor is measuring at 75.5 to 75.25 inch, just a little bit under 76 inches. And then from the ground to the bottom of the fender flare, that is 41 inches. So for me, I can still pull into my garage. It just kind of scrubs on the extended antenna a little bit. I can still go into parking garages, and as you saw earlier, I still take this thing through drive-through car washes. So I haven't ran into any issues yet, but those are my specs. So for question number 4, just gonna group it all together, and it's in regards to the tires that I'm running on my Ranger Raptor. So just to clarify once again, I'm running the Gladiator XComp XT tires on mine. The stock tires were the KO3s. I personally really liked the KO3s, and I think for my next set of tires, I'm gonna go back to the KO3. So I'll probably step up to the 35-inch KO3s. I don't think they're a bad tire, but for me, I think they're a little bit noisy. They don't really perform great in the rain. Being in South Florida, it rains all the time, so that's kind of a factor to me. I think these tires would be better suited on maybe like a rock crawler. Number 5, always get asked about installation. I didn't do the installation on mine. I didn't have the time to do it. I didn't have the proper tools and jacks and all of that to do it, so I paid a local shop to do it. One thing I will say is definitely do your research on who's going to be installing this kit on your Ranger Raptor, especially a perch collar. Not a lot of shops have, you know, a lot of experience with a perch collar, and in my opinion, you don't want to be the guinea pig. You don't want to be the first one that they've ever installed, especially with your brand new Ranger Raptor that's live valve and all of that, right? So do your research, find a dedicated off-road shop or a performance shop that is a little bit, you know, well-versed on this, and go with them. Even if it's a little bit more money, kind of piggyback off of that as well. Make sure you go to a good reputable shop that knows how to align for bigger wheels and tires on lifted trucks. Do you need to recalibrate? Yes, you absolutely do. If you love the way your Raptor feels stock, you love the cushy ride of the live valves, yes, definitely recalibrate your suspension. You can take it to the dealership and do it. My dealership was quoting me $300 to recalibrate it. I did it for half the price, and at the end of the day, now I have ForeScan and that OBD2 reader. It's super simple to do. I have a fully dedicated video, step-by-step instructions on how to do it using my iPhone. I'll have a link down in the description below to the OBD2 reader that I purchased. You want one that is compatible with ForeScan, so go pick up that one, and then you can recalibrate your ride height sensors yourself. You don't have to rely on the dealership to do it. And to finish it all off, would I do this again? Abso-fucking-lutely. I think the truck looks awesome now. Really aggressive stance. I love the way this thing sits. I know everyone always says this, but I wish it came from the factory this way. I wish it didn't have those crash bars on there. I wish there was some sort of like Sasquatch package for the Ranger like there is with the Bronco, where they remove the crash bars. It just would make it a whole hell of a lot easier. But, you know, at the end of the day, you can do it all yourself. You know, you can spend a few $1,000s. You don't have to go really crazy extreme like I did. And yeah, you can get your Ranger Raptor looking really freaking awesome. And just to preface, I haven't done a bunch of hardcore off-roading yet. Just some small minor trails. Here in South Florida, there really isn't any extreme off-roading unless you want to go into like the swamp, and that's not really my jam. So done a few small trails here and like some sugar sand and, you know, small little whoops. I did take it off of a little jump. It ate it up perfectly fine. There wasn't really any sort of like crazy compression issues or anything like that. So for any sort of person that's going to be doing any sort of mild off-roading, kind of like what I've done with the Ranger Raptor so far, it's performed awesomely. So yeah, boys and girls, that's gonna do it for this one. Wanted to do an update video for you all, answering a few commonly asked questions about my whole lift and wheels and tires setup. Hopefully that answered any questions that you may have. If not, go down in the comment section, ask away, let's start a conversation. Even if you think it's a stupid question, just ask it. I always try my best to reply to everyone as quick as possible, and you asking that question might answer someone else's question. So yeah, go down below. Let's start a conversation. Let's shoot the shit for a little bit. But as always, guys, I really appreciate y'all chilling with me today. Links are going to be down in the descriptions below if you want to pick up any of these parts that I use, as well as the OBD2 reader. I'm going to have the playlist linked down there as well, so if you want to go check out all the other Ranger Raptor content, go and enjoy that. But my name's Will. This is the Wimmy YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, share. All those things are always really appreciated, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.